Hey, welcome back to GBGuns, and by viewer request and inspired by a recent article on Shooting Illustrated, today we're going to talk about range bags, and I'm going to show you what I take to the range. That's what's coming up next on GBGuns. Alright, so, as I'm sure you've noticed if you've been watching the channel for any length of time, I hit the range at least once a week. I have to keep up with putting out all these videos and reviewing all the firearms that get sent in. So, what do I take with me to the range? Well, that changes depending on the mission, depending on the day. But this range bag, which I got actually from Copper Custom, Military Arms Channel shop, it's a Blackhawk bag, has become the most versatile of the standard bags. I'll show you why I like it and what goes in it. So it's got some dividers. Typically what this ends up being is my plink ammo, specialty test ammo, and then random things that I might need or need to spend some time with. The target eyes training thing, I've been playing around with that recently. Not too sure about it yet. This is a Type 3 malfunction replicator that a review may be coming up on soon. Random reflex sight. We've got red dot from Styrka. Because I swap rifles so many times and firearms every time I go out there, it's important to have options on hand. So that, extra earplugs, sunscreen, loose round that probably fell out of a magazine. So, but anyways, that's how I organize, and I like using these dividers. Sometimes I can tuck in spare handguns there. Things like that. That's really not the range survivability stuff. Come over here. Granola, something to chew on. Especially in the colder months. Found that I need a little bit of extra energy sometimes out there. Garbage bags. One, so that I'm taking home any of the mess that I create. And two, sometimes filming in the rain, those cardboard targets get worthless. So, a white garbage bag stretched tight across it helps protect the cardboard a little bit and keep the target running longer. Speaking of, I've got a stack of sticky targets. We come over to this side and we've got more sticky targets. The Caldwells that you always see us use, and a couple sets of eye protection. One is tinted, one is not. And then the real keep things running are on the ends in this bag for me. So this side we've got our tools. So I've got a set of hex keys or Allen wrenches, standard, Torx, and metric. Now one problem with these that I've noticed, and I'm sure you've experienced it too, is if the tools themselves aren't finely made, that can cause more trouble sometimes than anything. If you take a look at this T15 bit, you can see that it's been twisted. It's now worthless. It also makes me question all three of these. So, Cobalt Tools, sorry, disappointing. Spare staples in two different sizes for staple guns. Why two sizes? Well, sometimes somebody else needs staples, and I need a staple gun. So that's a fair trade there. Random pen for marking things down. And then we've got an assortment of wrenches here, another pen, the Real Avid AR-15 micro tool, which I found to be pretty useful. Not as great as the other Real Avid tool that I did the video on, which has since unfortunately somehow disappeared. I missed that thing, but yeah, nice to have on hand here. Take a look at the other side, and we've got target tape in both colors. I've been using tape often to hold the cardboard up to the 1x2s anyways, instead of the staples. It's a lot easier to pull it down. A little more difficult to get it put up there, but yeah. First aid kit. This is one of those trauma packs that LA Police Gear includes in orders sometimes. They're also fairly affordable, but very complete kit with basically all you need to stop the leak until you can get to medical attention. The range that I shoot at is a public range, and despite all of the rules, I have had stray rounds land places that they shouldn't, closer to me than to the target, because, well, unfortunately not everyone knows what they're doing out there. So be prepared to patch yourself up or someone else. Got the torque wrench from Warren. We use their mounts for optics quite a bit, and this torque wrench I love because it lights up and beeps and releases when you hit the 65 inch-pounds. So it's really easy. And Warren's torque wrench at 25 inch-pounds, which is for the screws that hold the caps on, doesn't beep or anything, but it does release. Makes things a lot easier. Got bottle of random oil. I'm not really specific or picky on lubricant. I'm sure you guys remember when the Fire Clean thing happened and it came out like, hey, vegetable oil works just as fine as anything else. I kind of believe the same thing. I'm just looking for a lubricant. Don't really care about brands. I'd say probably the only brand that I do avoid would be Frog Lube. I used Frog Lube when I used to teach. It was one of those things with the shop, just kind of pushed it and everything had to be exclusively Frog Lube. And Frog Lube does indeed work in preventing carbon buildup, because instead of the carbon getting hard, it turns into mud and it gums up the gun. So for certain applications, certain guns, certain places, it's great, but not a universal thing. And with the variety of firearms that I end up shooting on a weekly basis, I just need something that works universally. So that's my basic range bag. That's how I carry test ammo and what I know I'll need at the range. We've got, to go over it, extra eyes, extra ears, target tape, tools, first aid kit. That's about it. As far as transporting the guns themselves, I've been through lots of different bags. One that has been surprisingly efficient for me is a neat little pistol bag. I'll grab that real quick. So this bag, which I did a review on separately quite some time ago, has proven incredibly handy. As you can see, it's not particularly large, but I've been able to fit as many as 12 handguns into this thing. So, in this compartment here, this is from G.P.S. Tactical, the name of it. You can see there's this guide here. Sorry about the lighting there. For all these symbols that are in the bag, they've got this whole thing planned out. I don't necessarily follow that, but like all of the pouches. So I can fit a handgun in here easily, next to it, got mag pouches. There is a spot here for glasses, but I don't put them in here because I don't want them to get crushed. Down the center, nice large padded soft pouch on each side, and in the middle that's 3 more large guns, or 4 if I stack them carefully. And then on this side we've got another pouch, this side, which is not the softest, but using things like these sleeves from slide boot to protect the slide. It's not an issue. And then another one here, and we've got plenty of room for magazines. So it's really been a convenient way to bring along a bunch of handguns when needed. And what I like about it as well is, aside from the MOLLE on this side, doesn't scream tactical. Not a huge fan of that. I spent 15 years in the Army. I don't need things to make me feel tactical. This pocket over here, I've got just some random stuff, a notepad, a now broken container of tacks, which is a wonderful nightmare to put your hands in there, so let's just zip that back up. And then over here, this larger one. Small guns can fit in this, like single stack 9mm, things like that. So that's generally what I take to the range and how I get it there. I'd love to hear your comments down below of things you take to the range that you didn't see in my list. Let's start a forum with the comment section and share what and how we take to the range so that everyone can have a better trip. Thanks for watching as always.